Hello, this is Matthew with Outfishing 13 bringing you another reel service and repair video. Today I have a brand new Zebco 202. We're going to get into this. I'm going to show you how to service it and repair it. Okay, here's the Zebco 202. This reel is the basic entry-level reel that Zebco makes. There are some other little ones that are like a Dock Demon. It's the same closed-faced reel or spin cast reel. You can pick these up at Walmart for about $8. It comes with 10-pound test. It's called the all-purpose reel. In other words, you can fish all kinds of different fish with it. And here it says it comes with all metal gears, has a patented no-tangle design, quick set anti-reverse, pre-spooled with 10-pound test, and then the rest of the description in 2 other languages here. Okay, it was designed in Tulsa, Oklahoma, but it was made in China. To get started, we need to take the front apart first. So we're going to take this cap off by unscrewing it. And this one is threaded, so it's just not a turn and then pull off. You have to unthread it all the way. Then we need to take this as the spinner cone assembly. We need to take this off to get to the rest of it. So holding the handle, take and turn this to the left, and it should come undone fairly easily. We want to service the drag assembly here. So using this is where a small screwdriver comes in handy. We want to take this E-clip off. So get in here and turn it to the side. Ooh, there it goes. Okay. And then we want to take off. This one was greased really well. So I'm pretty impressed with this. This is a keyed drag washer. Take it off. And then this is a fiber drag washer. Okay, this one doesn't have a metal spool, it has a plastic spool, which is okay. Take that off. Okay, there's nothing back here. And then this has another stainless steel drag washer. I'm going to put it there, and then it has a metal. This right here is the drag adjustment plate. Okay, and it's slotted here, and it has a slot here. Right here is the drag adjustment screw, and it will screw this in and out and push it up against this spool, tightening the drag. So when you take it off, one of the things you want to do to make it easy to take off the E-clip is to make sure that the drag is all the way adjusted down. Okay, and it looks like it's regular metal, not instead of stainless. Okay, then there's nothing else here to take apart. I wouldn't take this apart at all. I just leave this drag in there. All right, here's the little clicker. You could take that little clicker out if you needed to, if it was really dirty. If this was really dirty after a year or 2 of use and had dirt and grit in there, you'd want to take this all apart here. Like I said, you could take this little piece out. So the next thing we want to do is take the handle. We can take the handle off. Let's leave the handle on for now. And now some of you may have got to this point and then you're thinking, how do I take the back off? Doesn't seem to be a way to take it off. What they've done here is they've made this so that this clicks together, and there is a way to take it apart, and it's once you learn how to take it apart, it's pretty simple. So what you need to do is you need to push down on this corner here. See this right there? See that little corner? Push down on it, and it pushes up against this area here and allows you to just pop it out like that. So to pop it in again, all you do is you take and angle it in kind of like this, this side in, and literally just pop it together again. So let me show you that again. On this side, on the left side, push on this corner here, not on this corner, but on this corner here, and it just comes out like that. Really simple. Okay, there's the back with the button, and it's in great shape. Okay, so let's just set that over here. Now let's look at the back here. Okay, now that we have the front and back off, let me show you what else you can do with these modern 202s. Now you can't take this center shaft out. What Zebco has done is they've put this together in a way that holds it together very securely, but it's very difficult to even take out the shaft. So I'm going to show you how to do that, and then we can take the rest of it apart, and I'll show you everything on there, then we'll put it back together. Okay, before you take this spring off and take this shaft out, just make sure that you're ready to go that far with your reel. Not all the time does it need to be serviced that far. Generally, you can do everything that you need to by getting it to this point. But if you got grit and dirt in here and you need to take this shaft out to clean it, the best way to do it is by taking this spring off so you can take the center shaft out. To do that, this spring right here has a little taper in it. So what you do is you find the end of the spring here, and what you're going to do is you're going to turn it and get that tapered in off the little lip there. And what you want to do is you want to spin it like this, and that will get it up over that lip. And once you got that first part up over the lip, then the spring just comes off, just like that. But you can kind of see how the spring is wider here and then narrow right here at the tip. Okay, so now that we have that off, we just need to take this out, reach down there and take the pinion gear and set it aside. Okay, at this point we can take off the handle. Okay, now that we have the center shaft out, we're ready to take this gear out. So there's only one way to take it out. You'll notice that this shaft here is made to fit the handle. Well, it's also made so that it can come out, and basically it locks into place. So what you have to do is, with the end of the screw end in this position where the flats are on either side, take it, pull it out, make sure those flats line up straight up and down, and then you can just take the shaft out like this. Okay, see how that fits into that little slot right there? Then the shaft is out. And then this anti-reverse is a pretty neat anti-reverse. It has a little pin in there so it doesn't sit in there and fall out really easy, and there's really only one way to put it back together, so you really don't get it mixed up like you do on the older 202s. Okay, we basically have it all apart now. We don't need to take this out right here. I wouldn't recommend taking it out at this point. I mean, you could, but there's no need to. And then there's this little piece right here, this little spring that you could take out. You don't need to. But if it's all dirty at this point, you can take and clean this off with soapy water and let it dry out. Make sure it's all cleaned off, all the grit's gone out off of it. But we're ready to put it back together, so let's go ahead and do that. Now we want to put it back together with some oil and grease in certain places. So to start off with, let's go ahead and put this part back together. So we want to take, and there's just little places we want to add a little bit of grease and oil. Okay, to start off with, let's put this back together. We're going to put a little bit of grease right here on this shaft. See that right there? Just a little grease right there on that shaft. And then we'll place this back in this hole right there. Okay? And then we can put some lightweight grease or just a thin coat of grease on here. Very thin coat. It doesn't need a lot. Okay? Just like that. Then you line up those flats and pop them into place. Just like that, and slide it in. Make sure you slide it in all the way where the anti-reverse is going to engage. So you might need to move that a little bit. There it goes. Okay. So the anti-reverse is now engaged. The next thing we want to do is we want to put a little bit of oil on this shaft right here, which goes into that bushing. Okay, so we're going to put a very light coat of grease on here, not very much. We're going to put a little lightweight grease on here. This is where the main pinion gear slides up and down. Okay, and we can put that back in there. Okay, and then we can go ahead and put this in. Now this has a flat, so when you get it started, you may have to push this down a little bit here so you can get it in the middle of that gear like that, and slip it on there, and then spin it until that flat finds itself, and then it will go down on there. Just like that. And at this point, now that we have that down on there, we're ready to put the spring back on. Now there's a large end and a small end. Put the large end on, then holding it down where that's down there on against your table, get this pushed on, and using a pair of needle nose pliers you can get this stretched over there and engaged again against there. So there it is right there, just like that. That's what you want, and now it's working. Okay, at this point we're ready to grease the gears. I'm going to go ahead and put the handle back on just to make it easier to do that. So put that handle nut on there, make sure it goes on there straight, and tighten it up. Okay. Alright, good tight action. Now just take your brush or your finger and put a light coating of grease on here. Give it a little turn. And then work that grease into there. Alright. Okay, to put this back together, get this side started first. Line everything up. And then just snap it back together like that. Okay? Okay, we're ready to put the drag system back together. We start by putting this piece in there. You're going to need to make sure that that lines up like that, and set that in there. Make sure those little grooves are in there, and then make sure the drag is all the way loose. Okay, there. We want to add a little bit of grease here and a little bit of grease on the spool shaft. Okay, then we want to put this stainless steel keyed drag washer on there. It already has some grease, so you just want to take and grease that up lightly. And then you want to put your spool on there. These ridges go down, they go against that clicker. You can hear that. And then you want to add some grease to here. Now this already has a bunch of good grease on there. I'm just demonstrating that. And then you put on your fiber drag washer. You want to add grease to it. And then your stainless steel keyed drag washer, make sure the keys line up. And once you have that, then you're ready to put on this little E-ring and snap it back into place. just like that. The last thing you want to do is you want to make sure that this is greased up or oiled a little bit. I'm just going to add a little bit of oil to this pin right here. That's it. Now it rides around on here, so we want to make sure that there's some grease around the end of this right there. And then spin this cone back on. Just like that, and tighten it up. One of the things that I want to do, because I've had problems with this before, I'm also going to add some grease to this thread. That way I know that it's going to come off next time. So let's do that again. Use a clean rag and wipe it all down. And your 202 is ready to go. It's a great little reel. Now it has no ball bearings, and you can't add any ball bearings to it because everything in here is just bushings that are part of the frame. So that's the 202. It's a great little reel, will give you lots of service. It's not the most expensive reel, but it's a good way to get started with fishing. Kids love these, they're easy to use, they don't get tangled, and they look really great. Anyways, if you enjoyed the video, make sure you give me a thumbs up and subscribe to my channel. Thanks and have a great day. Bye.